Greetings to our pastors, ministers, members, and friends. As we are in our women's ministry service, I believe the theme, A Woman's Heart in Times Like These, is to reflect this fact. The topic could therefore have easily been a person's heart in times like these. Or could it be suggesting that a woman's heart is somewhat different to that of a man in times like these? It might seem unnecessary, but given the times in which we live, with regards to the issue of gender, I wish to use the Oxford Dictionary and the Bible to define a woman. The Oxford Dictionary's definition: a woman is an adult human female, the female sex. Genesis 1:27, so God created man, that is mankind, in his own image, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Man and woman was created equal but different, to complement and not to compete with each other. Research is now showing that men and women tend to think differently, problem solving differently as a result of how the brain is wired. For example, women, we have a tendency to be more able to remember and recall events, issues, arguments from way back. This is said to be due to having a larger hippocampus, the area in the brain that stores memories. We recall minute details at times to the frustration of some. Another example is that even at rest, a woman's brain is said to be far more active than a man's. This is why women tend to want to talk after a stressful day, while men will want to process in seclusion. In general terms, heart means in the midst, the innermost or hidden part of anything. Physically, the heart can be described as a hollow muscular organ designed as a pump for circulating blood to all parts of the body. The heart is situated centrally in the chest, behind the breastbone, close to the lungs, with a third of its bulk to the right and 2/3 to the left of the midline. The heart is enclosed in a fibrous sac known as the pericardium to protect it. The heart is the center of physical life. We cannot function without a heart. When the heart stops, we die. But the heart is more than a muscle to pump blood around the body. The Bible tells us in Genesis 2:7 that God formed man out of the dust of the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. You see, the soul is made up of mind, heart, and will. The mind is a source of knowledge and intelligence. With the mind we think. Animals do not possess this faculty. The will gives man the capacity to choose, act, or decide. The heart plays such a vital and central role in human, it is referred to almost 1,000 times in the Bible. The heart and mind are closely connected and is sometimes used interchangeably in scriptures. The heart is connected with thinking. Proverbs 23:7. We ponder things in our hearts, meaning we consider it carefully. The heart is the center of a person's character, who we really are. It's our inner self. It is the spiritual organ that drives our behavior. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? God knows it. 1 Samuel 16:7. For a man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. The heart is the seat of sin. Mark 7:20-21. Jesus had to remind the disciples that it was what comes out of a person that defiles. For from within, out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, murders, deceit, pride. No wonder David declared in Psalms 119, Your word have I hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Hand washing is good in helping to prevent the coronavirus, but there's a more deadly virus that we need to avoid at all cost: sin. Proverbs 4:23. Keep and guard your heart with all diligence, and above all that you guard. For out of it flows the springs of life, our decisions and our actions. The heart is the source of our motives and passions. With it we love, hate, trust, and have confidence. Especially during this time of lockdown, we have to shield our hearts. To do this, we must guard our eye gate. Be careful of what you see. Guard your ears. Be careful of what you listen to. Be careful of what you say. Psalms 19 verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. What should be the state of a woman's heart, or a man's for that matter, in times like these? Psalm 61 verse 1 and 2 tells us, hear my cry, O Lord, attend unto my prayer. From the end of the earth I will cry unto you. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock, place of safety that is higher than I. Psalm 62 verse 8. Trust in the Lord at all times, you people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. This is the time to stay focused. The song says, in times like these, we need a savior. In times like these, you need an anchor. Be very sure your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. This rock is Jesus. Yes, he is the one. This rock is Jesus, the only one. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. He goes on to say, in times like these, you need the Bible. The word is our sustenance. Job says, I esteem the word of his mouth more than my necessary food. In times like these, oh, don't be idle. This song was composed during the fearful days of the height of the Second World War in 1943. A time of despair everywhere. World economies being at breaking point with food rationing everywhere. It was written by a pastor's wife and a mother of 5, Ruth Kana Jones from Pennsylvania. She was said to be very distressed by the news headline of the casualty list and also of the effects of the war. Inspiration for the song came as she read 2 Timothy 3 verse 1. But know this, that in the last days, perilous times will come. We may be locked down, but now is the time to get locked in with God. Ruth was inspired to write a song which has blessed so many over the years and is still blessing us. The Apostle John, in exile on the Isle of Patmos, wrote the book of Revelation, telling us of the end times. In this time of lockdown, what will you allow God to inspire you to do? Captain Tom Moore, at nearly 100 years old, by walking 100 laps down his garden, has raised over £23 million for the NHS. An 8.5-year-old girl has made 70 visors and donated them to a London hospital. The song says, let me hear none idle saying, there is nothing I can do while the souls of men are dying and the Savior calls for you. I want to leave lockdown fitter, not fatter, better, not bitter, a victor and not a victim. How about you? The song says, if I can help someone along the way, then my living would not be in vain. God bless you.